there's this critique of Nicki that's like, how come she's always picking on people? How come she don't just embrace everyone? How come she's always in some shit? What's your response to those people who have that critique?
Where are they? Are they in here?
No, they're on the internet.
Well, then let's
These are
talk.
internet
Call them and let's talk. I'll talk to them personally. I don't talk to the internet. That's the problem.
Today, guys, I wanted to talk about the bad guy of female rap. If anything goes wrong, please blame it on Nicki Minaj. Of course, we know that Nicki did her press run for Pink Friday 2, and she sat down with her frenemies, Old Man Ebro and Joe Budden. And I just wanted to speak on what piqued my interest from both interviews. And let's start off with Ebro. Nicki spoke about her father's death and how she dreamt about it prior to it happening. And in the dream that she had, her mom was the one in the accident, but in real life, her dad was the one that actually passed away. She also talked about the rap game changing to the point that people care more about music videos than the actual lyrics and the content of somebody's music, which in actuality is true. And she followed up by saying that people are now hyping up whack music and they're essentially watering down hip-hop instead of rising to the challenge and really rapping. But what made me laugh is when Nicki asked Ebro if he's really a champion for real rap. And that was a really shady comment, and I'm not sure if he caught it or not. Like, Ebro, she was basically telling you boy bye because you support whack music too, okay? I think he caught it and he kind of like, you know, tried to shift it, but yeah, we caught it. Ebro then said there's this critique of Nicki that she doesn't embrace others, she picks on others, and she's always in some shit. Nicki then said, where are these people, because she would like to speak to them, and Ebro essentially backed off. To me, Ebro is messy, and I personally think he should have stood on his question and not quickly moved on if he truly believes that Nicki doesn't embrace others. And like Nicki stated, she has friends that are female and male rappers that she loves and that she talks to. And in my opinion, people fall out with their friends each and every day. But because it's Nicki Minaj, it's put under a microscope for people to dissect and try to figure out why she's the problem. But a lot of you guys listening to the sound of my voice right now, you have fallen out with a lot of people, and it hasn't even been halfway through the year. So if we see Nicki fall out with 1 or 2 people in a year, to me that's not that bad. It's really not that bad, okay? Because a lot of you guys in real life are more messy than Nicki and fall out with more people than Nicki can count on her hands, okay? In my opinion, Nicki loves the bad guy role, and in all honesty, we need a villain in female rap to keep it entertaining, because the rest of these females are boring and a snooze fest. She also talked about her creative process with Pink Friday 2 and starting with the beats to create her songs and her album collaborations with people like Drake and J. Cole and the people that she signed to her new label Heavy on It. The interview overall was good, but Ebro dropped the ball when it came to diving deep into Nicki not quote-unquote embracing other artists, when in actuality, Nicki has worked with more people than I can count throughout her career. If we're being honest, she's worked with more female rappers than any other female rapper that's ever existed, okay? I might be exaggerating it, but if we look at history, Nicki embraces people and she's worked with people. But these are the narratives and these are the lies that people like Ebro try to push out there for people to consume. And you know he's quote unquote a champion for real music and hip hop. Okay, Ebro, whatever. But next we have Joe Budden. Nicki spoke about having writer's block the last time she spoke to Joe, but now being in a creative space to create great music. And I found it odd that Nicki felt like her album Queen was forced and she had something to prove. I think during the Queen era, the public's opinion of Nicki had actually gotten to her and it weighed her down, which is why she felt like she had something to prove, because we all know what happened in 2018, you know, her versus Cardi B. And to me, she didn't have anything to prove. She's already Nicki Minaj. She's already proven herself time and time again, and she's already done it all. All right, 2018 was really a turbulent year for Nicki Minaj, but she should be proud of herself for overcoming that whole hate train and them trying to destroy her. Joe also stated something that we all noticed about Nicki this go around, that she's in a different space and very appreciative of this album. I think Nicki overall has gone through a lot, and in this album she let us into her world of both the good times and the bad times. She looks comfortable, she is comfortable, she's in her element, and the music is coming together naturally and not being forced. They also talked about people saying there was no competition out back then, which is why Nicki was popping and she was the quote-unquote only one, but in actuality she wasn't the only one. There were female rappers that were competing against her. It's just that Nicki was the dominant one. But once again, a narrative that they tried to push. But then almost 20 years later, this same Nicki, who was quote-unquote the only one, has all of this competition around her and is still breaking Spotify records with all of the competition in female rap. Nicki stated that rap is also 40% down because it's being watered down by executives that wanted to take down Nicki. Of course, she didn't say that the executives were trying to take her down, but you know, I pretty much got the gist. And of course, I'm paraphrasing, but rap has definitely taken a hit, and going from being the #1 genre to what we see today is an absolute travesty and a disgrace to the genre of hip hop and rap. It doesn't make any sense, okay? And like Nicki stated, there is no balance and there is no gatekeeping. And these executives are pushing trash rappers down our throat, which is why it keeps going downhill. They also talked about her Vogue cover and Nicki being able to do this 15 years in the game, which is unheard of for a female rapper. Joe and Nicki also talked about the Barb's maturity and how they figured out that they're being used by artists and publications, which is true, and they've wisened up to that, and they like, we're not giving you guys any press over here. And Nicki also talked about being excited to see her fans on tour and her press on nails and the whole Gag City theme and everything like that. What I got from this interview is that Nicki is in love with music again and she's having fun, which is all that matters. And one thing I noticed about this interview is that Nicki looked really comfortable. She even had her shoes off and everything. Her coat looked so warm and fuzzy and comfortable. And the interview overall was really good, and kudos to Joe Budden. The bad guy Nicki Minaj is here to stay, and that's why people love to hate her or hate to love her. What did you guys think about both interviews from Ebro and Joe Budden? And as always guys, it's been fun. I'll see you in my next one. Bye for now.